I'll start with Elizabeth. What was it like before you went in to read and just to audition for this and know what the character was and what was going to be happening? How was it for you?
Well, when I first auditioned for it on tape, I didn't know what was going to be happening. I was like, oh, this is creepily romantic. This could be okay. I was a very hopeful reader. and then I got the call back and I was like, well, I better pick up the book. And I started reading the book. And I was like, oh. It just kept going left. I just like these crazy left turns over and over again, which I found exciting, and the fact that I never really thought it was gonna go that way. I was hopeful till the end. And I think I was like, oh, I have to be a part of this.
That's why she's perfect for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wait, you don't think it's a hopeful ending?
Penn, then same question for you going in for this. I mean, you've got a very complex role. How did you wrap your head around who Joe was and how you were going to play him?
I mean, I think I still am. When I see bits of the show, I wonder, like, is this too charming? Like, what is it possible for this many polar opposites to be contained in one person?
No, you're good. You're good.
Thanks, man. You're good, bro. Keep Joeing. No, thank you. I do appreciate that. But I think I am, for that reason. I think I am a bit more interested in, with all due respect, like the response from female viewers and minds, you know. And so that's, for me, all along, just learning to trust Sarah, both Sarahs. All of the women who are part of this, Elizabeth along the way, who, as you heard, like has such a hopeful perspective often, and I'm just, and I might have the inclination to sit there grimly and just be like, this guy, you know, I can't finish sentences, and you know, but that was why all along Sarah and Greg said that they thought I was right for it, and you know, there's something earlier you said, Sarah, about what Caroline has done, and which we've all managed to not disturb, which is this impossibly nuanced balance on a razor's edge that this works, you know? I mean, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
It's truly remarkable. You're always screaming like
You're
this
nodding
is a
like
roller
you didn't
coaster.
write it. You're like, I know.
Oh, I thought you meant the show.
But no, but the book is where we got it. Like, I remember.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, the book works. The book works in this way that I think if the show was to try and emulate in every manner, we'd be, I don't know. I think, you know, the show captures the essence and navigates a balance that I think was also similarly all along the way. You asked, like, how comfortable was I? I was like, I don't know. All along the way, I was like, oh, man. Woo, all right.
Okay. Well, watching the episodes, I found myself rooting for Beck and Joe, but then I felt kind of guilty about it because we know everything going on, which I know that's right from the book.
Yes.
But isn't that in romantic comedies, like a guy does terrible things and you still want them to get together?
Lord Dalder's
Let's define terrible things.
We hear. Well, we always hear like, love is love. Love is all you need. Love saves everything. Can it save Joe?
Okay.
In a way, this season tests the limits of what you've been trained to do.
Yeah.
Which is root for men to be rehabilitated by love and judge women until they're in the love relationship and rehabilitate the man. And frankly, the first time I watched a cut of the pilot, you know that scene where he's outside her window and he's masturbating? I was like, do you remember that scene?
Remind me. You're not being specific enough.
In the first masturbation scene of the season.
Yes. Okay, the first.
Yeah, masturbation scene, part the first.
Yes.
I was like, we're never going to get them back. I mean, I had believed in it until that point, but I was watching that scene and was so aware that he was such a creep in that scene. We're never gonna get them back. And then act out, and then you're back the next day, and I'm like, oh, maybe these two kids will figure it out.
But he also helps the lady take her luggage down and get a cab, so he redeems himself right away.
Yeah, with the same hand. There's not even it's like so fluid.
Oh, Purell, nothing.
And then he's with Paco.
God's
It's just-
girl.
It's all.
lot.
Well, Elizabeth, true or false, does Beck get curtains in season 1?
You know what?
I mean,
Well, let's unpack this a little bit.
okay.
Because everyone, you know, Joe is standing outside masturbating to her. And everyone's like,
With.
why don't you get curtains? And everyone's like, Beck, why doesn't Beck have curtains? I'm like, why is there a man masturbating outside her window?
One thing, yeah.
Why is the real question here?
Okay, all right.
Because she doesn't have curtains.
It's
I
all
mean, we could go, this is a Cohen.
Okay.
Cohen.
She likes to look outside. And she likes to be looked at in the way she likes to be looked at.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think she's young, and like curtains are not priority. She can hardly feed herself, for God's sake.
Right. Okay. Well, you guys have all seen the pilot, so we can kill the rumor that John Stamos is Peaches, because he's not. He's not Peaches.
But I do want to say the way I got the job was I was masturbating out of Berlanti.
It's true.
It's in
It's true.
Berlanti's backyard. I had to move the piles of money.
But John, you are in the show. We didn't see you in this episode. Can you talk about when we'll see you and who you're playing in the show?
I think it's episode, Dr. Nicky. It's episode 7, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Everything you're saying is really interesting with these guys, because it's a real insight on how these things can work. I was fascinated watching you, Penn, both of you, but like it's hard to be likable and carry on a character like this and also be dimensional throughout the 10 episodes. He's not just sort of one guy. And it's also, it's edited beautiful, it was shot
so
and it's sort of different for the Berlanti world, right, in a sense. So it was, but anyway, I play
Always
a...
trying to do different things.
I know. I've seen your superhero stuff. I play a therapist, you know, and I think you realize that these therapists are more fucked up than their patients, and that's kind of what this guy was. It's hard to really talk about it. Right?
I got really excited. First of all, we were so pleased that John wanted to just come and do this and be a part of the show. But I remember, and Sarah, you can speak to this too, when John sent along some images of what he was thinking in terms of the character. Remember this? And it was always like men in vests with beards and like just like this
Birkenstocks.
very specific, like weird. And I was like, oh, he's gonna bring something really fun to us. Like he already had a.
He had all those things.
I will say the character of Dr. Nicky was not actually actively smoking pot in session until you were cast in the role.
Well, no, but in the script it was like he could be high or something. Then I read the book and I said he was smoking pot in the book. That's remember?
Yeah.
And then you put it. I said, no.
Like, there'll just be a box if you want it.
Right.
Not real, prop.